Hey, good morning, everyone. Anne here. Thank you so much for tuning into my scope this morning. Excuse the sweaty, hot mess. I just actually finished my workout. This was going to be the best time for me to film this for you guys, as I have a busy day lined up ahead. Once my daughter wakes up today, I'll be out and about. So I wanted to get this in and talk to you guys. So for those of you who tuned in yesterday, I had started a kind of a five-part broadcast series, about, because I've been getting a lot of questions and emails and text messages, all that kind of stuff, asking how I've been able to keep with, my nutrition and, working out, exercising, staying positive and, motivated and everything during my recent fight with breast cancer. And just a quick recap, I'm a 33-year-old stay-at-home mom and health and fitness coach, and I was diagnosed back in October this past year with stage 3 triple negative breast cancer, and I was declared cancer-free in June of this year. So awesome, praise God. I went through, the surgeries, single mastectomy, chemo, 16 rounds of chemo, 5 weeks radiation, that I just finished last week. So I am all done with stuff for now until my reconstruction next year. So anyway, yesterday I had talked to you guys, about my exercise regimen, my routine, how I was able to keep with that, what I was able to do, and kind of some tips on, you're going through this, anyone's going through an illness or challenge like this, what things you can do to kind of keep with something, keep yourself healthy and strong. So anyway, today, part 2, I'm going to be talking to you about nutrition. And so please go ahead and double tap the right hand corner of your screen if you're liking hearing this information, and you want me to go a little bit more into it later into a future Periscope. So when I was diagnosed, I was eating pretty healthy nutrition, me and my husband, and we had been on quite a big routine for several months leading up until my diagnosis. So I had pretty much had a routine with my nutrition going, eating pretty clean 90% of the time. So that, that really worked in my favor. And then when I got diagnosed and, started talking about chemo and getting to that point and stage, one thing they really did encourage was to, eat healthy and clean, lots of, fruits and veggies, lean protein, grains, things that, I was already eating and, and stuff like that. So it wasn't a huge, it wasn't a huge adjustment for me, because I was just, they said, what you're doing, keep doing what you're doing. The only, the hurdles and stuff that I came through was, when I had, when the slew of doctor's appointments, the slew of tests, the slew of, just so many things, being so busy running around. When I had my surgeries and I was in recovery, and, when I was going through my first few rounds of chemo and I was recovering and I was really sick, and my husband was juggling work, you take some time off work, juggling that, taking care of our 2-year-old daughter, and taking care of me when I was sick and recovering and couldn't do a whole lot, or I was just, too weak and too sick. So, things that he was, when he could, because we would always, our regular routine was on the weekend was to grocery shop, and we meal prep and meal plan over the weekend. We do all those things on the weekend. We usually do them on Sundays. So when my husband could juggle that, he would help me if I was feeling sick or if I was recovering. He would help me with the meal prep, meal planning for the week. whatever needed to be done for that. He helped with cooking, cooking dinners and things like that for all of us. And, we received an outpouring of help from people, offering to, cook us meals and bring over meals and dishes and things. And my mom would bring stuff over from other people. And my mother-in-law, would bring stuff over and, people would drop stuff off and there's meal trains and things like that. And so, and a lot of people knew, like, oh, they like to eat healthy. So they always tried to bring over, some healthier, but I mean, it wasn't, obviously it wasn't perfect 100% of the time. I mean, and that's okay. You have to take the help when it's offered. Important thing is that we're fed and food is on the table. And so we just always did the best we could with given the situation, whatever the situation was. When I started doing chemo and I was really sick from chemo, they encourage you to eat while you're on chemo, even if you don't feel like eating, even if your appetite, because on chemo, your appetite and your taste, things sometimes go out the window, they go off, and they decrease. You don't feel like eating, especially, if you're throwing up, you're nauseous. Some people can't keep, and some people can't keep food down while they're going, some people get super, super sick. I mean, I got pretty sick, with the first 4 rounds, the first batch of chemo that I did. I didn't throw up or anything, but I was really nauseous, just super weak and just super wiped out. My taste was off for food, didn't taste the same. It didn't taste right. And so my appetite would go really down. And so it was just really, and I was always I love food. I love to eat. So, but I knew that I needed to eat. I needed to stay hydrated, get plenty of fluids, and I needed to keep food in my system, even if it was just snacking throughout the day. So I always, just tried to snack on the healthy things that, we would, have some handful of, fruit or some veggies and some hummus or, a handful, crackers or something, just to have, and some lean protein or some eggs. My husband would make me eggs for breakfast. And so, on the days that I was sick and these were just, for the days that I was sick, I was only sick 3 days after my treatments for the first couple of months. So, so that's what I would do for that, just to keep myself with my nutrition, and it's very, very important, like I said, even if you don't feel like eating. So I got through that part, and then I got onto the next round of chemo, which there was no nausea or anything with that. So there was no disruption or struggle to eat or anything like that. The only issue that I had with both sets of chemo that I did was the steroids, part of the pre-meds that they give you to help with side effects of the chemo, the day of, or, like the night before I had to take steroids as well. It would give you a huge surge of energy. And then, during the day of treatment, you would have a huge surge of energy and your appetite would go way up. So, which was really tough when I was trying to, you're trying not to, I was trying not to steer off track, but I wanted to eat everything in sight, especially, because I would still work out and I would continue on with my routine, especially going into the next batch of chemo that I did. For those familiar, the first 4 rounds I did AC, adriamycin, Cytoxan, and then the second 12 rounds of chemo. So I did 16 rounds total, and the next 12 rounds I did was the Taxol and the carboplatin. That was the one that didn't make me sick. But with both sets of chemo that I did, those 1 or 2 days, too, I would, the day of, usually it was the surge of hunger. So that day I would want to eat everything. So, but, what I did to really kind of counteract and balance to make sure I didn't, binge eat and let's go get a whole big bag of chips or ice cream or cookies or something. I started, because my treatments were usually during lunch, snack time anyway, because they were 3-hour treatments. So I would pack a healthy snack, and I would pack like a healthy, if I was going to be through lunchtime, I would typically pack a healthy lunch, like a salad or things like that, to kind of help me keep me on track so it wasn't, tempting. I mean, there were a couple of times, obviously there was a handful of times that, I was really craving some comfort, so some Chipotle or something, but, had some chicken tacos or whatever, because those are my favorite. Those were my favorite during that time. And so there were a handful of times that we did that, I'm not going to lie. But for the most part, we packed healthy snacks, healthy lunch, and everything, and then just kept it, as healthy as possible for my husband and I both, because he would come with me to my treatments. So yeah, I mean, like I said, they encourage good nutrition to, kind of help deal with the side effects, to help keep you strong, healthy, to kind of combat everything, and replenishing your body with hydration with water, and tea and stuff like that, different things like that, whatever you find you can handle and tolerate. So to wrap this up, kind of my 4 main points, takeaways with nutrition and, going through treatments and going through, with cancer and, just going through all this challenging stuff, accept help when it's offered, you get family and friends, a network of people who want to help you, accept that help. It saves so much time. If you don't feel like cooking, it's not, anyway, just part of life, nutrition's not going to be perfect. But it's, you don't, beggars can't be choosers. So, just accept help because you need it. Important thing is you're nourishing yourself, you're getting food in your body. Meal prep and plan, if you're doing that, keep with that as much as possible and just try to, do that, kind of on a consistent thing where you can, if you have your spouse or somebody to help you with that, to, to stay on track, just to have things planned, just in general, just to have things planned out for the week to save you time and just one less worry when you have so much going on with everything else in this. And then, another thing is to, like, if you're going through treatments, chemo and things like that, knowing when your appointments are, just, if it's during meal times and stuff, pack yourself meals, pack yourself healthy snacks, like veggies and hummus, fruit and nuts, pack yourself a salad if you're not a salad eater, like a healthy little, like, chicken wrap, salad wrap, whatever. And I can go into a little bit more things, comment below, ask me questions, anything else you'd like me to go further into detail about, I would be more than happy to, and I'd love to hear your suggestions. So that to take to treatments, and then also just hydration, it is so important because, chemo, treatments are so taxing on the body and the organs, your body is going through so much, getting pumped full of poison and getting pumped through, because that's what it has to do to kill the cancer and to kill the tumors. And, just to, especially your liver and your kidneys and function and everything, just organ function, hydration with water is so important, even if you have to flavor it, with, because plain water can get pretty boring, especially if you're drinking a lot of it. It's boring for me every day because I drink so much. So, and that's the other thing, is just really key to stay hydrated and just keep yourself nourished, fuel your body, because it's, definitely needs the nourishment and replenishment. So again, just, give me some hearts, tap below if if you've been liking this information and everything so far, and, anything, and, any questions I'm open to. You can also email me at, purcellfitness@yahoo.com, or, you can find me on Facebook at Ann Purcell. And I would be more than happy to talk to you further. And I just want to thank you so much for tuning into my scope today, for tuning in part 2. Tomorrow I'm going to be talking about kind of how I was able to keep positive outlook, attitude throughout this journey, the challenging times and everything, and kind of some of my tips and things there, what helped me and everything. And so, if you know someone who's going through this, or anyone you think this might help, please feel free to share. Encourage, and it's, I just want to help, what's worked to help me get through it. And I just want to help, others getting through it, making this as easy as possible, because it's such a, it's hard. It's a hard thing to go through, and it's, just, I want to help as many as possible. So again, thanks again for tuning in to The Scope, and I will talk to you soon.